Greetings and welcome to In-Depth. I'm Dike Rostant. The University of Trinidad and Tobago's Academy for the Performing Arts is hosting an open day later this month, and to find out more about it as well as furthering that narrative of choosing a career in the performing arts, we have Aidan Chamberlain. He is the Assistant Professor of Music. We also have Shaun Prescott, Assistant Professor at the University of Trinidad and Tobago, and we are speaking with them now. Thank you so much for making the time, Aidan. Thank you so much for making the time, LaShawn. And let me just also say, discipline leader in the BFA of Music, as well as assistant professor of music and trombone. And with that, Mr. Cumberbatch, I want to start off with you, please, Mr. Chamberlain, in terms of give me the cliff notes of that move towards music as something that you do full time, because sometimes it's just that one moment that turns on the light bulb. Is there that for you? What are some of those points along the way?
Absolutely, yes. Well, nice to be speaking to you today. So, when I was just entering secondary school, I happened to hear a trombonist play, and I just thought, that's really what I want to do. So, that I was already playing piano, but that sparked me off with the trombone. And then around the age of 15, 16, I heard some other players that really inspired me even more. And I thought this is really something I'd love to do as a career. And so my parents at that point panicked. They didn't really know anybody that made a career as a musician. And so we started looking around and looked for advice. And eventually I went to a famous college in London called the Guildhall School of Music and Drama for just to go along and play to them and them to hear me and give me some advice. And that really started me on that process of having lessons with some famous trombonists in London and then doing a degree in music. And then that led me into a career, and I was worked as a performer for about 15 years before coming to Trinidad, where I'm teaching at the University of Trinidad and Tobago.
And thank you so much for that. And there are a few things that you said there. One, in terms of just hearing that person and that being a spark. I also like the trombone, but the fact that you don't have these, some people find this a lot harder because you don't have these specific things that you're dealing with. And you spoke about Guildhall, and we would have recently spoken with a young man by the name of Jeremias, and he is actually working towards getting to Guildhall. I'm sure you all know each other. And last but not least, the fact that your parents worked with you while you were going to around that age, getting into secondary school. So all of these things we're going to jump back on in just a bit, or most of them. Let's speak with you, please, Ms. Prescott, because one of the things that is interesting about you, one of the things is that you would have been in a position that many people aspire to, but at the same time, you would have basically left corporate in the main because you had another calling. Take us through that a little bit, please.
Yeah, I think my experience was a little different to Aidan's in that I actually started my career in economics. So I would have had the opportunity to compare, aside and that sort of, the traditional professions, that quote unquote traditional professions, as opposed to something in the performing arts. And I would have left, I was working at the Ministry of Trade and Industry at the time, also while touring with Marsha Montano, and I would have left to be able to pursue it full time, just to give me, a little bit more leverage. I was taking quite a lot of time off from work to go on those tours. So I took the decision to go into performing arts full time. Can't say I regret a single moment. And here I am at the University of Trinidad again, Trinidad and Tobago, teaching in the performing arts now.
And I think it's also interesting you talk about literally in economics. So you dollars and cents. You're looking and see what's happening. Can I do it here? Can I make this work? But the reason that we are here for this conversation in the main is because the UTT Academy for the Performing Arts at Napa is having an open day for interested persons, and it's around that same time frame that you would have cited, Mr. Chamberlain. So give us a little information about it, please.
Absolutely. So certainly when I was around the age of 15, people that really influenced me a lot were people that were just a couple of years older, but were really doing something that I wanted to do. And that's what we really want to do with this open day, is open up so that students that think they might be interested in a career in the performing arts can come along and see what they might be doing a couple of years from now. They could potentially be at the UTT Academy, working and performing every day of the week. So we're a performing arts academy. It's not just studying books, although there obviously is some of that, but it's about actually performing every day. So secondary school students will be able to come into the APA and see what it looks like on a regular day, with performing happening, rehearsals happening, and they can see students that are just a couple of years further down that path and that they might be interested in following.
I know we've intimated it, but read and spell for me, state it categorically. What's the catchment area? What's the target grouping that you have for this occasion?
Okay, so to get into UTT or to be able to apply, you have to have got 5 CXCs as a minimum. So people that are maybe just finishing their CXCs, or maybe they already finished their CXCs a little while ago and they're looking for the next stage in their training. So people that are either about to do their CXCs or have just finished them, and obviously anyone in Trinidad and Tobago. We also do have some students coming from further afield in the Caribbean, but we're imagining for this open day it's going to be students in Trinidad and Tobago who are interested in a degree in the performing arts.
And we have about 2 minutes, Ms. Prescott. I want to end this half of the conversation with you. And you said that your experience is a little different. And part of that may be because the influences that you were getting at that point in time say, this is where you need to go in order to XYZ. How important is it that you're able to speak to individuals just a little older than you, saying that this is what led them to pursue this? This is why they think that they're able to do this. This is why they're here, dealing with moving towards a career in the performing arts.
Just wanted to add on to what Aidan is saying as well. Part of the reason why we're targeting students from Form 3 to 5, usually in Form 3, they're now choosing subjects that they would do for CSEC. So we want to get them at that opportunity to let them know what a career in the performing arts is like. And also the fact that they would not need 6 form subjects to come into the university. I think that's a common misconception, that you can actually just apply with just CSEC subjects. And we also have the option for those more mature students who would have had a career in the performing arts and really want to just get the certification and formal training. There's a mature entry option as well. But I think it's important for students to be able to see the viability of a career in the performing arts. They come into the space and they're immersed. It's interactive sessions. So they really get to experience what it would be like, both training and performing in the performing arts. And I think having the opportunity to experience that and see it can really sway you in one direction or the next in terms of where you would like your career to go.
And we further this conversation. When we return, we are speaking with Shaun Prescott and Aidan Chamberlain about the UTT's Open Day. It is coming up later in this month. Stay with us. We return with more. Welcome back. We are talking about an open day, the Academy of the Performing Arts at the University of Trinidad and Tobago. We're doing so with Aidan Chamberlain as well as Shaun Prescott. And one of the things that, just go over that again, because you said that and that blew my mind. So I want to ask about that again, please, Ms. Prescott. One, in terms of those entry requirements, 6 form not necessary, as well as possibly some of the other misconceptions further afield that people may have about a career in the performing arts.
Yeah, so the entry requirements for the BFA in the performing arts with both specializations in music or in general performing arts area only require 5 CSEP subjects, including math and English. Of course, it's preferred if they have theater arts as the CSEC as one of the subjects. If they would like to go into teaching in the future, we also recommend having a science subject included. Prospective applicants would have to undertake an interview. So we actually encourage people to apply for the audition and interview part first before completing the more lengthy application to the university. Applications are open, actually. You can check the website. I don't know if you all are able to share just the website link just down at the bottom. But you apply, conduct an interview, we see you perform, and then they go on to the second stage of applying to the university in general.
And I like that inclusive nature, because sometimes you may have gone to a school that you don't have these CSEC subjects. Because I tell people that I vex that I didn't do literature in secondary school because I mash it up, but the school just didn't offer it. So being able to kind of pick up on things that you weren't able to at one point in time, I think is very crucial. And is that something that I'll continue the question with you, please, Mr. Chamberlain, in terms of some of the misconceptions, things, the myths that people have about the performing arts or career in the performing arts that this program and others like it hopes to dispel?
Absolutely. Well, first of all of our faculty are practicing professionals. So they have an excellent inside idea of what the industry really looks like. So, we have pan instructors like Leon Edwards, who's the arranger for All Stars, Mia Gormandy-Benjamin, who's the director of All Stars. We have Anthony Woodruff, who's a well-known jazz saxophone performer. Dr. Roger Henry is the director of the National Philharmonic Orchestra. All of these people are on faculty at the APA. So we have an excellent inside view of what the performing arts looks like. In terms of if students are wondering, what they can do is they can just go to our website, which is u.tt/APA, and click on the audition page. Or even if you just want to send a message, just click on contact. But you can set up an audition anytime. And what that will do, we will set up a time to talk to you and listen to you sing or act or play your instrument, whatever it might be. We will listen to you, and then we can give you that advice. So even if you're not sure, is this something that you can pursue, we're there to help you with that advice. And you can do that by just going to our website and getting in touch with us.
I really like the fact that it seems as though this puts to bed the rumor that those who can't do teach. So there are people in the industry, in these sectors, who are able to say, okay, well, this is what is working for me. It may not work for you. You may want to tweak it a little bit, but there's that insider knowledge. And one of the things that I appreciated while being in Jamaica was going to the Edna Manley College of Visual and Performing Arts. And there were these final year examinations where it was a concert in your discipline. And I'm sure that there's similar occasions at the Academy of Performing Arts. What are some of those performances that individuals can look forward to? I'll ask you, Ms. Prescott, I'll ask you, Mr. Chamberlain, because I know you all have slightly different or nuanced experiences and responsibilities at the APA. So talk to me about that, please, Ms. Prescott.
Yeah, so for a lot of the courses that we have here, their final examination is actually in the form of a performance. We have actually a show coming up at the end of the semester, a music and dance collaborative showcase where a lot of the students will be marked in performing live for an audience. Both the musicians, the dancers, the actors, they'll be graded in this live performance. It's open to the public. We also have a series of other shows that's also open to the public. So actually this Friday, the 10th of March at 5 p.m. in the lobby, we have Aidan, and you can speak a little bit more on this, the multifaceted trombones. It's an hour-long recital. You'll be able to experience music from 5 countries, 5 centuries, and it's also going to be not only entertaining, but an informative process. And we have different concerts carded for Fridays. We also have roundtable discussions. So we have one on Sustaining the Art of Calypso. That's carded for Saturday, the 18th of March at 2 p.m. It's a theater 2 on campus here. And we have details on all the other upcoming performances on our website, again, the UTT Apple website. And yeah, so students get the opportunity to perform as part of their training.
And you adding to that, Mr. Chamberlain?
Absolutely, yes. So as Ms. Prescott was saying, we have regular concerts on Fridays, discussions on Saturdays. We have a play coming up, an Easter play on the 29th of March, The Passion According to ... newly written Passion. And we have a variety of different types of music. We have an Indian Arrival Day concert on May the 6th. We have International Jazz Day concert on April the 30th. And as you were mentioning about the end of performances, end of semester performances, the final year students will be doing a lot of final performances as we come to the end of the semester, which is going to be around the end of April. So we have a lot of performances coming up over the next few months.
I refuse to call it the best kept secret, but in terms of saying, okay, well, these things are available and they happen at these times regularly with a level of consistency, remind me of that site that we can get that information again, please, because I'm sure it'll be the nicest thing. Okay, this happened. Hey, let's take a little walk across. So because it's so centrally located, well, depending on where you are. But where do we get that information again? Thank you.
Absolutely. So it's u.tt/APA, which stands for the Academy for the Performing Arts. We're also on Instagram. A lot of the faculty have Instagram accounts. You can find me, Aidan Chamberlain, on Instagram. The Academy for the Performing Arts has a Facebook page. UTT Marketing is on Twitter. So there are lots of different places in social media that you can find out about these, all the different events.
All right, thank you so much. We have about 3 minutes more. I want to ask you to answer the person who still thinks that performing arts are in the main something to be done on the side, as well as what kind of jobs, because sometimes people think that on stage is on stage, performing arts is just performing arts, and there aren't other lines. You may not necessarily be on stage specifically. So I'll have you take a stab at it, Ms. Prescott, and then Mr. Chamberlain to wrap up. Thank you.
Sure, yeah. So as you said, people who think of a career in performing arts don't necessarily have to be on stage. So we have persons who are stage managers or costume designers or lighting technicians. There's so many areas that you can become involved if you may have that stage fright or you don't want to be in the forefront of things. And we do offer all those options here at the Academy. So we have courses in stage management. We have courses in lighting design and costuming. We have, and I want to also target one of the misconceptions that, if you're doing something in performing arts, you aren't going to be doing academic side. We do have math specifically for the performing arts. Students would come in here and they do a course called Entertainment Industry Business Seminar, where they learn on things like contracts and negotiations and all the business side of things as well. So, whichever area you are interested in, whether it's in the forefront performing, or in the background, making costumes, design, lighting, there are options here available for you at the Performing Arts Academy.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chamberlain. The last minute is yours.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to add to that, many performing artists these days have a portfolio career. And what I mean by a portfolio career is that there are different aspects and different parts of your job. So you may be performing on stage. You also may be teaching. You may be going into schools at different times. We also at the Academy have a digital media arts program, which is all about the recording side of music. So you might be working in a recording studio. Maybe you're recording, maybe you are the recorder. There are lots of different aspects that you may have in your career. And that's a great way to develop your performing arts career. So coming to the Academy for the Performing Arts, you're going to see all these different options. You're going to have the opportunity to try different courses, different aspects of the performing arts, the performing, the recording, the stage design, the theatre design, the stage management. So we encompass all those things in that degree, and you then are able to specialize in the areas that you find suit you best.
And I think it's so important to be able to do so in a safe space that's nurtured, where you can fall forward and be aware of what you could have done a little better than you launch your career and then you're finding these things out as you go. But we want to thank you so much, Aidan Chamberlain. We want to thank you so much, Shaun Prescott. The Academy for the Performing Arts is having their open day. Look out for them. The information will be below. And on behalf of the entire TTT News team, I'm Dike Rostant. This has been In Depth with me. Thank you so much for joining us.